How can you most effectively reach your target audience with Google Ads? Something I've noticed is that there are so many keyword research tools and platforms available out there, but not as many audience research platforms. Since I literally wrote the book about audience targeting in Google Ads, I'm always interested in uncovering new ways to glean audience insights that I can then use in my Google Ads campaigns. So when SimilarWeb asked me to take their platform for a test drive, I was excited to find this feature that I'm going to start using with all my coaching clients. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to research your own audience or your competitor's audience, and then take what you've learned and put it to use in an actual Google Ads campaign. This is a sponsored video. SimilarWeb offered me compensation and free use of the platform in order to show you this. And because I had actually used SimilarWeb when I worked at Google, I said yes. The content of this video, including my expertise and opinions, are completely my own. Ready to dive in? This is SimilarWeb's intelligence platform. There is a lot of stuff we could do here, but for this video, I'm going to focus on some website analysis. Now, it can be tempting to just type your own website in here. As you can see, I have done that. But what I actually want to learn more about is the audience who uses ads.google.com. Because, of course, someone is not going to become a customer of mine unless they use Google Ads. So what can we learn about people who use Google Ads? I'm going to type in ads.google.com, select it, and boom, right away, tons of different insights. Now for this video, what I really want to know is the audience interests. And what this is going to show me is the people who visit ads.google.com, what else are they doing online? You can see here some of the industry and topics distribution. We'll come back to that. But here, I genuinely can't believe we can look at this data. So what is this showing me? Adsmanager.facebook.com. That's the Facebook equivalent of Google Ads. Highly relevant and 23% cross-visitation. That is the average percentage of visitors who browsed both Facebook Ads Manager and Google Ads Manager on the same day. Not surprisingly, we see business.facebook.com, so maybe they're not looking at the Ads Manager, but other business sides of Facebook, the Shopify admin, and then Canva. That's a cool one too, and it makes sense. Really popular tool with small business owners, myself included. Studio.youtube.com, also really interesting. That's the side of YouTube for creators rather than just people watching YouTube. And if I scroll down, we see things like Trello, Figma, Microsoft Ads, much lower down. Sorry, Microsoft. You get the idea. Now, if I come back up here, this is sorted by relevance. I could sort this by cross-visitation if I want to and see what those most cross-visited sites are. As I'm looking through here, I want a relevance score of like at least 50%, and then maybe a cross-visitation score of at least 5%, ideally more like 10%. That's going to be my sweet spot for finding domains that are related to ads.google.com. And here's what we're going to do with them. In Google Ads, I'm going to go to Audience Manager and create a new custom segment using these domains we just found in SimilarWeb. Let me show you how to do that. We come to our Audience Manager under Shared Library, come to Custom Segments, and hit the blue plus button. I'm going to call this Custom Segment. We're going to build it based on websites because other options would be search terms, interests, or apps. And it's going to be ads.google.com related from SimilarWeb data. And now coming here, we can show ads to people whose browse websites similar to these ones we just found. Let's sort this by relevance again to get that list. So we are going to start with the Facebook Ads Manager. I'm just going to type adsmanager.facebook.com and hit enter. I'm also going to target business.facebook.com. And the Shopify admin, that's admin.shopify.com, and canva.com. When I'm creating a custom segment, I like to have 5 to 10 different inputs in here. Okay, and now we hit save. After a few minutes to process, this will be ready to use in a campaign. You can see down here, I created one before recording this video just to make sure it would work. And as you can see, it is now fully eligible to serve. You can use this custom segment in a demand gen, YouTube, or display campaign. In YouTube, it'll be called a custom interest, but it's the same thing. And you could also add it to a Performance Max audience signal. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. But What else can we do? I'm going to show you now a bunch of different audience and keyword insights you can get from SimilarWeb that you can then use for your ad targeting in Google Ads. Let's use a more broadly applicable example of Lululemon. Okay, pretty sure we're all familiar with the activewear brand. Now we're going to build an audience here, but we're going to do it based on searches. That's something else you can do in a custom segment. You can build an audience in Google Ads of people who have searched for certain things on Google. So coming down to the keyword information here, what I'm looking for is the top non-branded keywords paid. So this is a place where perhaps your competitor or you, or for our example, Lululemon, is spending a lot of money on things that are not their brands. I'm going to explore this competitor's strategy, and then I'm going to focus these keywords on something that SimilarWeb calls low potential keywords. This is keywords that have a zero click rate of 90% or higher, meaning people aren't clicking on these keywords a lot, so you're probably not getting a lot of traffic from here, but they're still relevant to your business and something you wish you could get a lot of traffic from. Here's my trick for you. When we look at these keywords, we're going to pull out the ones that are most relevant to our business and add them to a custom segment. For Lululemon, I don't want Tesla stock, but I would want something like packable jacket, olive green down parka, best stretchy slacks, camel colored polo golf, etc. These are things that are highly relevant, but we're just not able to get a lot of traffic from, even though search volume is really high. So we're going to reach these people who have searched for these things as they're doing other things online, like watching YouTube videos, flipping through the Discover feed, checking their email, etc. So back into Google Ads, we are going to build a new custom segment, but this time we're going to build it based on search terms. So I will call this custom segment search terms, Lululemon non-brand zero click from SimilarWeb. Okay. Now, really importantly, for this feature to work, it has to be for campaigns running on Google properties, things Google owns. So this will not work on the display network. Don't use this in a display campaign or it will treat your searches as interests and it won't tell you what's doing that. So what are some of these searches we want? Packable jacket. I just hit enter. And best stretchy slacks, why not? You could segment these, throw them all in together. And as I'm doing it, it's also recommending other relevant search terms that I might want to add here as well. So when you're doing this again, I recommend at least 5 to 10. When you're using search terms, you could use more like 20 or 30 if you want to, but we're now going to show ads to people who really search for these things on Google. Once we're done adding whatever we like, we can hit save here. It's going to take a few moments to process, and then we can add this to a demand gen campaign. Make sure to turn display off, or to a video campaign where it will be called a custom search terms instead of a custom segment, just to confuse you. You could also use these if you want as search themes in a Performance Max campaign. Remember, search themes are just signals, not true targeting. Great. What else can we do? Let's take a look at some of these search competitors and see who we are competing against in the auction. While we're at it, I'm also going to change from worldwide to United States, since let's say that's where I'm planning on running this campaign. If we scroll down here, we can see some of the organic competitors. And then if we go back up, we can flip up and see who some of the paid competitors are in search. And here's a little trick I have for you. You can add these to a custom segment, just like I showed you with the Google Ads example, but there's something a little more fun that I've never seen anyone talk about. Let's take a look at some of these paid competitors. So Athleta, Alo Yoga, Fabletics, Vuori, these are who I would think of as competitors. Now, audience targeting in Google Ads is showing ads to people based on who they are. Content targeting is showing ads to people based on the kinds of content they engage with. One type of content targeting is placements, placing your ads on specific websites. But you can only do that on websites that allow ads. And I can tell you, Athleta, Alo, Fabletics, they're not going to let Lululemon just place ads on their sites. But websites aren't the only type of placement you can do. You can also do placements on apps or YouTube channels. So what you can do is pick out the YouTube channels of your competitors and place your ads there. Let me show you. In Google Ads, you're going to want to create a video campaign in order to do this. I'm going to fast forward through the initial setup so we can get to this placements part. In your ad group, we have all the audience options. We've been talking about those, but here you have your content choices. You want to add placements, and then you're going to pick YouTube channels. So let's say Fabletics, for example. We can search for Fabletics here. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to come up with a YouTube channel, and boom, I can now show my video ads on my competitors' YouTube channels to reach their viewers. You can see this warning came up because in order to use this, you need to pick at least 10 YouTube placements. That can be 10 videos or channels. So I'm now going to go back to SimilarWeb's insights, see who my competitors are, look up their YouTube channels, and add them as placements. If you look one of them up and you can't find what seems relevant, then just search Athleta YouTube channel. Maybe they have one, maybe they don't. Here, it looks like they definitely do. And so what we can do is just grab that full URL, paste it in here, and there we are, the right one. In this example, we've actually taken search insights from SimilarWeb and turned it into content targeting for our Google Ads campaign. My goal today was to show you how you can use insights from a platform like SimilarWeb and turn that into actual campaign targeting ideas in Google Ads, whether that's audience targeting or content targeting. In my experience, custom segments are one of the most powerful types of audience targeting in Google Ads. And as you saw, SimilarWeb made it easy to go beyond the obvious to build really interesting and potentially high-performing audiences. The key is to think creatively so you can find new ways to reach your target audience online. If you have any questions at all about audience or content targeting in Google Ads, feel free to drop a comment and I'll get back to you. Be sure to follow along for more Google Ads tips and tricks. And if you're not yet following my podcast, Inside Google Ads, you will love it. I'm Jill Saskin-Gales, and I'll see you next time.